You know what's crazy? I say this shit all the time, but you know what's crazy, right? People always say, even in a situation that was, I would say, was racially motivated. You feel me? Or certain things that happen that black people would know all about, and somebody would still tell you it's not about race, or it wasn't about race, right? So I got out of my car the other day at this shopping plaza, you know, you know, picking up some things. I ain't the only one out there. You feel me? It's a lady out there, you know. She acting like she crazy, doing stupid shit. All right. So I'm walking by, but not the only one walking by. You feel me? A lot of other people walking by too, but I'm the only one she singled out. You feel me? Bitch was like, "Get away from me, nigger! Get away from me!" I ain't nowhere around the bitch like that. You feel me? I'm just walking by, going into the store. You feel me? And then the bitch got a shopper cart, and you know, threatened to hit me with it. You feel me? Bluff charge, right? I'm gonna tell you, it was a bluff charge because I told the bitch, you feel me? If you hit me with that cart, I'm gonna knock your ass out. You feel me? Hit me with that cart, I'm punching your shit. Is exactly what I said. You feel me? I ain't with all that bullshit and the bitch like, get away from me, nigga. You feel me? Bluff charging with the cart. You feel me? All the people out here now, you single out the black guy. You feel me? So, but yeah, I told that bitch you hit me with that car, I'm punching your shit. You feel me? All that fake crazy went away. You feel me? All that fake crazy went away. Cause I wasn't even bullshitting. I don't let people play with me. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't let people play with me. But anyway, so the crazy part about it is that even though she was being aggressive towards me and disrespectful and whatever you want to say towards me, that if that basket would have touched me and I would have hit that bitch with that KO, that 1-2, because I would have knocked that bitch out, I would have been the bad guy, right? People would have looked at me as the bad person. You feel me? Shit crazy. But we all know that. One, because I'm a man. Two, because I'm a man and I'm black. You feel me? So it was a no-win situation for me. But it wasn't about the win. It wouldn't have been about the win though. Cause that basket would have touched my not to punch the bitch in the face. You feel me? It just would have been what it was. But anyway, I say that to say this. You feel me? That's not the first time somebody, on some aggressive racial type shit. You feel me? And me being who I am, I'm gonna, you feel me? I'm gonna react accordingly. You feel me? Now when motherfuckers ride past and be like, nigger, out the window, ain't nothing I can do about that. I just like the shit be funny to me in a way. That shit be funny to me. Right? Like, what the fuck? Fuck ass mother. You feel me? Anyway, it's just certain things that happen, right? In certain situations that everybody know about. So it'd be like the guy in the airport a couple years ago, right? When he was like, "Oh, you treat me like a black person. Hell, they treat me like a black person." You feel me? That means that what I always say, people know there's a difference in treatment because of color, but people like to say there's no racism here in America. You don't get treated away because of your color. It's more class. Hmm. Let me see. Is it more class? Huh? Really? I guess. Now, does a rich black man in trouble get treated like a rich white man in trouble? No. Do a rich black man in the store get treated like a rich white man in the store? No. Is that class or is that color? Sounds like color to me, right? I mean, but it is what it is. Like I always say, I don't let that change the way I do things. You feel me? I'm just aware of the difference in treatment depending on who you around or where you at. You feel me? So I look at things different. You feel me? I mean, I'm more logical than most. You feel me? But I'm not gonna let nobody play with me at all, and I'm not gonna let the fact that someone may not like me or a couple group of people may not like me because of my color change the way I do things or change who I am as a person. You feel me? I am who I am. You feel me? So I mean, you got whole religions telling people that your black skin or your darker skin is because it's a curse from God, and people just people gloss over the fact that this is actually being taught. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. So when I hear a white person or you know, or a black person, if I hear a black person say that, oh, the white man is the devil, what is the difference from people being taught in religion that your darker skin comes from is a curse from God? What's the difference in those sins? Right? There's no difference. So if a black person sees a white person and call them the devil, and then in the Mormon religion, they telling you that your black skin is a curse from God. What is the difference? They look at different because anything coming from a black person is looked at as reverse racism, right? I mean, as a black person, you always looked at as aggressive and angry anyway, right? No matter what the situation is, or no matter what you're reacting to, that's just what it is and how it's looked at. Shit crazy, but it is what it is. We all know that. You feel me? We can pretend like that's not the case, but we all know that's the case. Just look at it in anything: sports, politics, um, everyday interactions, medical treatment, um, banking and housing. I mean, anything, right? A black person would have to change the pictures in the house or take the pictures down in the house and put up a picture of a white family for the house to have more value. What you making it? Nah, this is facts. This is there's documented proof. Um, Bank loans, business loans. You feel me? People just assuming that you don't have any money, all because of color. Right? People assuming that you don't work hard and that you're lazy, all because of color. People assuming that you're not smart, all because of color. Right? This is in books. This is documented. Right? People actually believe this. You have supposed to be scholars and intellectuals that build careers off of this. Right? But we're gonna pretend like this is not the case. We're gonna pretend like there's no stereotypes. We're gonna pretend like there's no prejudice. We're gonna pretend like there's no racism. We're gonna pretend like a lot of things aren't race based. I mean, there's a lot of people that do a lot of race baiting, about things that don't have nothing to do with race. Then they'll make it about race. But when something has something to do with race, people try to make it about other things. Now, take sports for instance, right? Um, uh, Shador Sanders, right? The other day got flipped upside down because a player went at his knees, basically, tried to end his career. No flag on the play. You had people talking about, well, that's what happens when you leave the pocket. When you leave the pocket, that's what happens. You open yourself up to those kind of hits. Football is a physical sport, and stuff like that, right? Okay, but then Trevor Lawrence slides late, and then he'll get his head knocked off, and there's no place in sports for this. I mean, there's no place in the game for this. He's a dirty player. He you have to find a way to what bullshit they were saying. I don't know, but now Buddy a dirty player. You feel me? Shit crazy, right? Uh, the NFL, the NCAA, they make a lot of money off football, right? And even with these college playoff games, people try to make it seem like it's about the athlete. I mean, of course, you're going to start paying them now with NILs because you're doing so much stuff to make money, right? Ad revenue, with the TV deals and everything. You're making so much money. So the least you could do is make sure these kids get paid because the majority of them ain't going pro. The majority of them taking courses and majors that ain't gonna make them no money at the end of the day. And when their time is up in college, they gonna be at the highs at their parents' house. You feel me? Looking for a job, sleeping in the basement, or on the couch or something, back in their childhood room. Because the major that they majored in don't make no money, right? We know this, and then I don't seen plenty college players injured. Lattimore, I said the man that's the first time, not the first time, but that boy knee went all kind of ways. He wasn't gonna have no career after that. I seen a player from Tennessee get blasted on the sidelines, and he was fucked up, man. I don't know if he was paralyzed or what, but he was fucked up. You feel me? And you knew it wasn't gonna be no future in the NFL, right? You see this happen all the time, man. Broken legs. I mean, uh, just broken limbs. Period. Concussion syndromes and shit like that. So they're gonna have CTE. Just all kind of crazy shit, right? It happens because it's collision sport is violent. So like there's for some of these players, they're not gonna recover from the ACL, MCL. They're not gonna recover because the knee is like completely just tore to shreds. Leg bent backwards, is dangling, leg broke. You just know it ain't nothing, right? They're never gonna be the same again. That speed that he had, he gonna lose a step. Like what happened to Clay. You feel me? Clay gave it all to the Warriors, and they felt like he lost a step after those injuries, and they didn't treat him the same. And then people got mad that he left. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? So, and it kind of like it's kind of crazy that people get mad at players for wanting the money. They want money. They want to secure their future. You feel me? I mean, the owners make so much money. You feel me? They build these big elaborate stadiums and shit, these big ass stadiums like the Cowboy Stadium. You feel me? Which was kind of a stupid design because you got the window open in the back, and depending on which side of the field you're on, you can't even see the ball when it's thrown because the sun blink beaming in your eyes and shit. You feel me? They need to put some drapes on that shit or something. But anyway, the naming rights to those stadiums, you feel me? They make a grip off of this shit, right? So people get mad when players want money. So mad that when the player is injured, the fans start booing. You feel me? Like what happened to the Deshaun Watson. You feel me? He on the field, he fucked up. The fans are booing and cheering and whatever the fuck. Oh, and then you got motherfuckers like, oh, they wasn't you booing the player, they was booing the person. How that work? When the player and the person is the same person. You feel it? Oh, they wasn't booing the player. They was booing the person. You know, because it's off the field stuff. Listen, man, off the field stuff. You meaning that you try to you settle a case that's not worth going to court for, and then 1,000 other motherfuckers see that you settle and they see it as a way to get money too. Stuff like that. You feel me? Um, it becomes easy. It becomes easy. You become an easy mark, an easy target. You become a check, basically. You feel me? Now, look at Diddy. People knew what Diddy was doing, supposedly, and what he had going on, right? People knew about the freak offs and the sex parties, right? And nothing hit the fan until he paid. Because then people seen it like, whoa, it's time to get this money. He cutting checks. You feel me? People start seeing it as a check. It's an opportunity to get paid. Now that there's an opportunity to get paid, now we got stories. Look at what's going on with Jay-Z. You feel me? Not that saying that he's some kind of innocent man or no shit like that, because I don't know him. I don't know the situation of that. But it looks like a bitch is lying. The inconsistencies in the stories and stuff. You feel me? Now I know he met Beyonce when she was young. Then you know they got the Foster Brown thing. Then you got the Rihanna thing. Then you got the Tierra Marie thing. So it's a lot of stories that surrounds Jay. You feel me? But this story seems to be a lie because it's inconsistent, right? And people are really asking real questions. They usually don't ask real questions when a woman says a man did something. They just automatically believe that, well, she said it, he must have did it. It is what it is. That guy's guilty. He did that. Right? That's usually how it goes. Usually, no matter what the man defense is, he's guilty anyway. I mean, shit. You want to see the perfect example of that, or the perfect example of the treatment that black people get when it comes to the system? Just look at Trump. Trump couldn't understand and relate to what it's like to be a black man in the justice system, right? And he's not even a black man, but he's being treated or has been treated like a black man, right? It's Trump. People don't like Trump, but you know he's a threat to democracy. You know he's a raper. He grabs women by the vaginas. Um, you know, all kind of things that people say when it comes to Trump, right? To the point where he started suing. He started suing, which I don't blame him because they've been destroying his character for the last 8 years, damn near. So you have to do something. You can't let them keep getting away with this saying the stuff that they saying. You gotta let them do something. You feel me? You gotta do something because they just get out of control with it, right? Shit be crazy, but there's a difference in treatment. You feel me? So as you seen Trump with 35 felonies, you seen that him raked over the coals by the DOJ. You seen, I mean, you just seen a lot when it comes to the whole January 6th thing. You feel me? You just seen a lot. You feel me? It's just a lot of finger wagging and people telling you, do you feel me? Trump, 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 bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, right? To the point where people just look at him as a monster, right? But you see that, and this is where you can see the difference in treatment. You feel me? Trump is Trump is the example of what it's like to, you know, just to be labeled. What's labeled? Hmm, propaganda. Uh, how would I label this the avalanche of attacks? You know what I mean? But that's just what it is. That's what it's like being a nigga, man. You feel me? You feel me? An avalanche of attacks in the media. I mean, just destroying your character. You feel me? No matter what. You feel me? You guilty until proven innocent. Basically, you feel me? Off top, you guilty. Somebody said it. The media runs with it. You're guilty. And then when you find out to be innocent, they whisper that. Move on from the story. So nobody knows you've been cleared. You feel me? They don't launch a whole nother campaign to build up the character that they destroyed. It is what it is. You know what's crazy about that too, right? Is that Biden, he's not some great person. He's been deemed to be um, not capable of a second term, or he's on the decline mentally. But in these last, I say 2 months or so, before the inauguration, he's making all these decisions. You mean to tell me that Biden, who we know is not all there mentally, but we're still gonna let him appoint judges. We're still gonna let him uh, do bills and sending money and weapons to Ukraine, to Israel. We still let him make all these decisions, even though we deemed him not to be mentally all there. He's not all there mentally, but we still let him wield the power of the president. What sense does that make? We still allowing him to make executive decisions. We still allow him to just basically do whatever he wants to do. All right. So Biden gets to pardon his son. He's thinking about pardoning Liz Cheney and Dr. Fauci, and you feel me? So, but we just said he's not there mentally. So why are we going on or even putting shit in front of him to sign if he don't know what's happening? If supposedly he don't know what's happening, why are we? You know what I mean? It don't even make sense. Shit don't even make sense. It don't even make sense when you think about it, right? And then you know Kamala, now that her campaign is over and flamed out, you starting to see that her like, bruh, it seems like every time she comes out, it's like I don't know what's going on with her. You know what I mean? It seems like she be drunk. Now, does she be drunk? I don't know, but it seems like she be drunk. Every time she's talking now, it seems like she's drunk. It seems like she's running a scam because her campaign is over, and it seems like she's still trying to get money out of people. Because it's still crazy that she blew through $1 billion. You feel me? $1.4 billion. That's still crazy that she blew through that amount of money in what 3 months. That's still crazy. That's still crazy. How you how can you just do that? You feel me? But it is what it is. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But these the people that they want you to line up for, vote for. These the people that's supposed to find a new way forward. Her who blew through $1 billion on concerts and entertainment. You feel me? And now she's always drunk and shit all the time. To the point where people on her team is sabotaging her, even though you didn't think that she could be more of a disaster than she already was. You know what I mean? And it seems like it's just getting worse and worse and worse. You feel me? And Trump is looking better and better because Biden is a disaster. We already knew that. You feel me? Even though they tried to polish him up real nice, we know he a disaster. You feel me? We know that he stole, well, basically his whole presidency is a fraud. Um, that he was given that spot with fake ballots and numbers and shit. We know this. You feel me? We had an influx of 20 million more voters than usual. You know what I mean? From the numbers that we actually average every election cycle. But whatever. You know what I mean? So all of this shit is crazy, right? But my whole thing about that is that when it comes to, you know, the office of running for president, Trump, you know, treated like a black guy. Um, Biden, you know, coddled by the media. That's how the do everything that was going on was like very biased. You know, moderators showing their bias, anchors showing their bias, entire networks showing their bias. When it comes to Biden and when it comes to Kamala, they never was asked any real questions. When it comes to Trump, he was always on the defensive because they was always the question he was asked was always attacking style questions, right? Like they're gonna attack him, they're not gonna let him finish his statement, or none of that. And Trump would tell you, you know, in a couple of his interviews I've seen, he let it be known that hey, you're not doing your job as a reporter of the news, right? In a couple of interviews, I seen him say certain things to journalists. They get defensive about it. They make excuses on and about, the whole Hunter Biden situation and the laptop and the fact that he wasn't qualified for the positions he was getting. That he was basically laundering money and, getting kickbacks and shit like that. But nobody wanted to talk about it. And then the fact that he's been parting now for the past 10 to 11 years, that let you know that Biden was in on it, that the family, I'm pretty sure, made plenty money off of it. You know what I mean? But, people going out of their way to like kill that story. They don't want to talk about it because it's Joe Biden, and his son, he already lost his child. And, we don't expect him to lose his son too after he said that he wasn't going to pardon his son. He could have said he could have said plenty of things. You know what I mean? But we're gonna line up, make excuses for it. Kamala, we're gonna line up, make excuses for it. Even though the country's been a disaster and going down the drain, and there's no balance here anymore because we don't let so many people into this country that there's no balance here. Right? There's no balance here. The whole country is out of balance. You know that when you out in the rural, that when you driving, when you shopping, no matter what it is that you're doing, you see that the country is out of balance. There's been an influx of people, and housing. I mean, just anything that you do, you see that, man, it's so many fucking people here that this shit is crazy. There's no balance here. This whole shit, man, it's just fucking crazy, right? And if you say something about it, people, you know what I mean? Depending on who you are, you could be labeled a racist. You feel me? And people are quick to say, if you don't like it, go back to your country. Just shut your ass up with that bullshit. But anyway, it is what it is.